Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely transform the way you interact with the internet. Whether you're doing competitive business intelligence, some deep academic research, or honestly, even just digging into your own genealogy, we're going to move you from being a standard, everyday keyword searcher into a highly skilled digital investigator. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by millions of irrelevant search results, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Okay, let's dive into this, because the core premise here is just incredibly exciting. What if you could actually command Google rather than just passively querying it? Imagine being able to completely bypass all that SEO spam, all the marketing noise, and instantly locate a highly specific exposed spreadsheet, a hidden academic data set, or the exact technical manual you need. Today, we're going to learn how to do exactly that by mastering Google search operators.
Here's a quick look at our first principles to Masterclass roadmap for today. We'll start with an intro to OSINT and ethics, cover search fundamentals, look at location operators, move into content filters, explore advanced combinations, and finally wrap up with some known limitations.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Intro to Open Source Intelligence. Because to really grasp the power of search operators, we first need to understand the wider field they belong to.
So, open source intelligence, or OSINT, is essentially the practice of collecting and analyzing publicly available data. We're talking about information that's literally just sitting out there on the open web, the deep web, and in public records. But, and we really need to emphasize this right up front, these advanced search techniques are potent tools that can uncover exposed, highly confidential data. You'll probably hear us say this a few times, but you absolutely have to use these methods ethically. If you're applying these techniques for something like website auditing or a security assessment, you must, without exception, only do so on systems you own or are explicitly authorized to assess. Just standard good citizen rules of the web, right?
The sheer scale of the data available to us is mind-boggling. Search engines like Google are constantly sending out these automated bots, often called spiders, to crawl and index billions and billions of web pages. They're out there categorizing text, images, files, and server directories. All of this indexed data is just sitting in massive databases, waiting to be tapped into. But to actually tap it effectively, we have to learn to speak the search engine's structural language.
And that brings us to the core difference between how most people search and how professional investigators search. A standard keyword search basically just looks for text matches. You type in, say, Google hacking, and the engine takes a guess at what you mean based on popularity and keywords. But an operator search? That uses specific syntax commands to filter by strict structural rules. For instance, typing Untitled index of admin doesn't just casually look for those words. It forcefully commands the search engine to only return pages where the actual HTML title contains the exact phrase index of and the body contains the word admin. Think of it like this. A keyword search is asking a librarian for a book about cars. An operator search is demanding the maintenance log located in the glove box of a very specific 2018 sedan.
Moving right along to Section 2, Search Fundamentals and Logic. Now that we know what's possible, let's build our foundation with the bedrock Boolean logic that powers all of these advanced queries.
Consider this your ultimate quick reference sheet. Let's do a rapid-fire overview from first principles. First up, quotation marks. These force an exact match. Searching OSINT intelligence in quotes guarantees those two words will appear exactly in that order. Second, the hyphen. This acts as a powerful exclusion filter. If you search cybersecurity minus OSINT, it returns pages about cybersecurity but aggressively strips out any result that even mentions OSINT. Pro tip, never put a space after that hyphen. Next, the OR operator, which always has to be capitalized by the way, or the pipe symbol, gives you choices. Searching developer or designer finds pages with either of those terms. Parentheses allow you to group logic together, exactly like you would in an algebra class. And finally, the asterisk acts as a wildcard, while the two dots act as a numeric range.
Let's look a bit closer at wildcards and ranges because they are an absolute game changer for business research and public records analysis. If you search OSINT asterisk training, Google will literally fill in that blank for you. It might return OSINT video training or OSINT live classroom training. The range operator is equally brilliant for narrowing down vast amounts of data. If you're doing academic research or looking at economic indicators, typing 2015.2018 will only return pages with numbers falling in that specific chronological range. You can even use it for currency, like $10.50. This strips away massive mountains of irrelevant data almost instantly.
Section 3. Location and structure operators.
Let's transition from what specific words we want to find to exactly where on a web page those words are actually allowed to exist.
Every web page has a specific architecture, right? They have a domain, a URL, a title at the top of your browser tab, body text, and hyperlinks. Well, these location operators let us laser focus exclusively on those specific architectural parts. The site: operator restricts your search to a single domain or top-level domain, like site:/gov. The in-URL: operator looks for a keyword strictly inside the web address itself. If you want to find multiple specific words in the URL, you'd use all in-URL:. Similarly, in-title and all in-title search only the title tag of the web page. This is absolutely fantastic for finding specific login portals or admin directories. Then you have in-text, which searches just the main body of the page. And finally, in-anchor searches the actual clickable text of a hyperlink.
Now, what's really interesting here is the practical demonstration of forcing Google's hand. Notice how the all-in-URL operator is being used for the terms OSINT and intelligence. By doing this, we are commanding the search engine to only return results where both of those specific words are baked right into the web address itself. If those words happen to be in the text of the article, but not the URL, that page gets completely excluded. It's this exact level of precision that instantly cuts through the noise.
On to Section 4, Content, File, and Source Filters. Because sometimes, we aren't looking for a web page at all. Sometimes we want to retrieve a very specific type of file or source document.
Enter the file type: operator, which can also be written as extent:. This is arguably one of the absolute most powerful tools in all of OSINT. It restricts your results to specific file extensions, so you can search for .pdf to find academic white papers and datasets, .doc or .docx for technical manuals, or .csv for raw spreadsheets. We also have these amazingly handy built-in commands. Related: helps you find websites similar to your target, which is just perfect for SEO research and competitive intelligence. Plus, you have quick built-ins like define for a dictionary, weather, map, and stocks. You're basically treating Google like a command line interface here.
As one of our sources points out, the file type filter allows you to dwindle total results down to a manageable amount. Let's think about a real-world application for a second. Imagine you're conducting a fully authorized security audit of your own company's website. You might run a search query like site:/yourcompany.com xt:/XLS password. This simple command forces Google to search your entire domain specifically for Excel spreadsheets that contain the word password. Honestly, you would be shocked at how often web administrators accidentally leave a document literally named passwords.xls sitting wide open in a public-facing folder. In authorized security assessments, a query like this is an absolute goldmine.
Section 5. Advanced OSINT Combinations. Knowing the individual operators is great, but chaining them together? That's where you truly unlock your digital X-ray vision.
I like to think of query building like stacking highly specific physical filters on a camera lens. Step 1. We set the boundary, site:/example.com. Boom, we are now only searching within one specific domain. Step 2. We apply the file filter, extend:/PDF. Now, out of that entire domain, we are exclusively looking at PDF documents. Step 3. We mandate a keyword, confidential, in quotes. By chaining site:/example.com, extend:/PDF, and confidential, we've instantly filtered out millions of random web pages, blog posts, and images, returning only the exact documents we need. This drastically reduces analysis time for researchers, journalists, and cybersecurity professionals alike.
And we can take this even further by stacking temporal and positioning filters. For instance, if you're working in journalism and you're tracking a specific historical event, you can use the before: or after: operators. This lets you pinpoint data from a highly specific time frame, ensuring you aren't getting bogged down by modern commentary. You can also use proximity operators. Commands like around X literally force the engine to find two keywords within a certain number of words of each other. This is incredible for finding hidden associations between two names in public records investigations without having to rely on an exact phrase match.
Section 6. Limitations and Appreciated Tools. As incredibly powerful as this all is, we have to remember that the search ecosystem is constantly shifting.
Search engine algorithms are always evolving, which means operators often get deprecated or removed entirely over time. For example, the tilde symbol used to be a really great dedicated synonym operator, but Google eventually phased it out.
The link colon operator, which used to show what sites linked to a specific URL, has also been largely removed. And most notably, the cache colon operator, which investigators loved because it used to pull up historically saved versions of web pages directly from the search bar, is no longer officially supported in the same way. When tools fade out, practitioners just have to adapt and use alternative resources. Also, always keep in mind that query lengths have strict character limits, and your syntax really matters. Seriously, a single accidental space after a colon can break your entire search.
So there you have it. You've just gone from basic keyword guessing to advanced multi-operator query building. You now know exactly how to filter by location, by file type, and by exact text strings. You have the toolkit to uncover hidden data sets, audit authorized systems, and completely cut through the digital noise. But remember our absolute first principle today. This digital X-ray vision must be used responsibly and ethically. Practice these skills carefully. And, as you do, ask yourself this one final question. If you can now find anyone's exposed data with just a few clever keystrokes, what exactly is sitting out there about you? Thanks for joining us for this explainer. Get ready, because in our next lesson, we'll be covering advanced search methodology and multi-engine search strategies. Until next time, stay curious and stay secure.